with Germany. And what did your folks think about it?
Oh, it killed my mother. My dad didn't say too much.
Okay.
You know, I was in my 20s and I could do what I wanted.
Why did you decide to go?
Well, everybody was going. No women that I know of.
But you decided you wanted to be a part of the effort and to help out.
Yeah, mighty little that you'd help out, but it was something.
Okay. Now, just before you went in, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, I was at home because I remember hearing about Pearl Harbor on a radio, but I didn't have no idea where Pearl Harbor was.
Okay. So the Japanese now were in war with Japan and we were in war with Germany. And you decided to go into the service to help in any way that you can. What was the feeling of America during that time? Do you remember? Did they think we were in over our heads, or were they?
No, no. You know, you can't think that kind of stuff. You gotta know that you're gonna win. That's just the way that it is.
Okay. Where did you go for your physical?
Fort Hays, Columbus.
Okay. What, can you remember the thing that made you decide that you wanted to enlist?
No,
Now, you're a young girl who lives on the farm.
I didn't live on the farm. I just lived in a farming community.
Okay. Okay, that's right. You told me that y'all had, your dad worked on the railroad. All right, but what was the farthest you'd ever been away from home before this?
Pittsburgh, PA.
Okay. Okay. So you decide to go into the service. Where do you take your physical?
Fort Hays, Columbus.
Okay. And where did they give you orders to go after that?
Well, I went back home. You know, all they done was do a physical and I'll give you instructions for this and that and the other. And we all went back home and you didn't have nothing to do. I had already quit my job, so I couldn't go back there. So they were really needing people to work. And the women, old women that you knew, they put on overalls and went to work on the railroad, cleaning out old engines and all kinds of stuff. Dirty, dirty work. And that's what they done. Well, you know, they got paid for it. I suppose they worked a little also for the money, but you know, there was somebody had to do it.
Okay. So it was changing the role of women.
That's right. They never went back to being just complete housewives no more.
Okay.
You know what I mean, is baking and cooking and doing laundry and all that old kind of stuff. Most of them had a sideline, working at a job and then doing their housework and all that at night or on the weekends or something.
Okay. Where did you take your basic training? Did you have any basic training?
Oh yeah, that was in Iowa. And they told us not to bring anything except the clothes we had on and our toothbrush and our pajamas.
Okay.
And let's see, what was the name of that? Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
I really don't remember the name of the camp.
Okay.
No.
All right. When you got your orders, what did your orders say?
Go to this camp on a certain day and don't bring nothing except the clothes you have on and your toothbrush and you know that kind of stuff what you need.
All right. What unit were you in? What service?
The Army.
Okay. And what unit? Do you know? Remember?
I was in I was in the WAAC,
Okay.
the Army Auxiliary, and our pay was $21 a month, the same as the men.
The same as the men?
The men got all $21, and we got $21, and it was like that for several months, and then the government got generous and upped it to 52. And the men got 52.
Well, good. Good. I'm glad to know you got the same.
Oh, yeah. And we had the same rules and regulations and everything that the men did, except, you know, there was no, at the end of the war, the men could apply and get college education and all that kind of stuff. But WAAC didn't get that. And after so long a time, we were taken from being an auxiliary to being a part of the Army, and then we became the WAC.
Okay. The wax. Okay. What were some of your duties?
I was a cook.
Okay.
I went to in basic, you know, that's your basic training in
Right.
the Army. And I also had to go to cooks and baker school. And then after that, well, I was a cook
Okay.
and a baker.
Okay. Did you stay in that one place all during the time you were in service?
Well, I stayed there a little while, and then they shipped us to, everything was by train.
Mm-hmm.
You went on a troop train, we went on a troop train to Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. And I just don't remember how long we were there.
There she has a picture.
Oh yeah, that's at Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Who got that out?
That's where she's baking.
Cooking turkeys.
1, 2, 3. 3 big turkeys in one pan. Took a lot of strength to lift that, didn't it?
Yep.
So, all right. So you got on a troop train and you went
To Des Moines, Iowa.
to, okay. And what did you do there? Same thing?
Yeah, that's where that was
Okay,
taken.
that's where that was taken? Okay. Did you remain there during the rest of the war?
No, I was there, I don't know how long. And then we went on a troop train up the eastern seaboard and to New Jersey and put on a boat and sent overseas.
Okay. We're going to take a break now and relax for a few minutes, and I'm going to get back with you, okay?
Okay.
Today is March the 15th, 2006, and I'm talking with Cathryn Cluck, and we're going to be visiting a little bit about her war experience and how she met her husband. Now, Cathryn, let's go back just a little bit to your teenage years. And you're growing up there in a farming community, but not on the farm.
That's right.
Okay, and you say that one of the events of your childhood was listening to the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Okay, and that neighbors would come in and visit with you. But you also said something else about some of the social events that you had as a teenager.
Yeah, we had parties Most of them happened at our house. I don't know why, but that's how it always seemed. We had a taffy pull. Now that was fun.
Okay, tell me about a taffy pull.
Well, you just make the taffy and then you give each one a handful of that hot taffy. And they have to pull it just like that to make the candy. And then when you end up, well, you got a string of that stuff, and then you clip it with the scissors so you can suck each piece.
Okay, it's a hard candy
Yeah,
when it gets through?
yeah, it's a hard candy when you're through. Well, we done that, and we had a spaghetti supper. There was always something that we could have a party for. When you asked me, I didn't think about it till Mary told me. I never told none of that.
Okay. Did you dance at your parties?
No, nobody knew how to dance.
They didn't? Okay, so you just, being two girls, older girls, I guess you, mother rather you have you there at the house having a party than going someplace.
Yeah, well, there wasn't really no place to go. I mean, you can't go to a beer joint.
Okay.
That's clear out of the question. And, you know, at the beer joint, they dance and drink and all that. You can't do that.
Okay, now you're, America is hearing the rumblings of war.
Yeah,
Okay, and some of your friends are going to service.
yeah, the boys.
Did you know anybody that was killed while they were over there?
Yeah, there was one that was in an airplane. They never found him.
Okay.
And see, the boy that lived next to us, he was killed in Italy.
Okay.
And let me see, I can't.
Did you have cousins or uncles
No.
that were in service?
Yeah, that were in service, but they didn't get killed.
Okay, were they all from your little community?
No.
Okay. All right, what made you decide to enlist?
I don't know, it just seemed like a necessity.
Okay.
You need to go and do something.
Okay, how old were you when you enlisted?
About 22.
About 22. All right, where were you working when you enlisted?
At the hospital.
Okay, what were you doing there?
I worked in the record room.
Okay. Do you remember how much you were paid?
$45 a month.
Oh, that's good.
That $45 went real fast. We had to pay to get a ride into town, and then after I got to town, well, then I had to pay for a bus ride to the hospital.
Mm. And then did you bring your lunch?
No, we could eat at the hospital.
Okay. So you're working there at the hospital and you decide to go into service. All right, you enlist in the Army. Do you remember what day you enlisted?
No.
Okay. And you went to take your basic training. Where did you take your basic training?
Fort Hays, Columbus.
Okay. And was it difficult?
Oh, you asked me about my basic training.
Okay.
I thought you meant where did I go for a physical.
Okay.
Basic training was in Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay. Was it hard?
Well, yeah, you had to learn to make a bed that you could drop a quarter on and it would bounce up a little. That's how tight it had to be.
Okay.
And everything just had to be so, you know. You had to cover your pillow with your blanket. Oh, I don't know.
Did you have to stand inspection?
Oh, yeah. They'd come around with white gloves on and the least little bit of dust Well, you had to pay for that.
Okay.
They took it out of your hide, not out of your money.
Okay.
No,
What were,
I don't mean they whipped us or anything like that.
okay.
But, you know, you had to work.
Did they make you run or anything like that?